Howdy YouTube, and welcome to this episode of the Gunman. So this video here is going to be a bit of a review and demo and an unboxing and a look at the new DeVilbiss Pro Lite Nebula. This would probably have to be one of the best looking Pro Lights they've ever released. I am still a big fan of my gold Pro Light, just the standard one, and I do also like the blue one that I've got as well. Quite a good looking color. But as you can see there, that's the gun, a bit of a close up of the gun itself. And it's just basically, at the end of the day, it's just your standard DeVilbiss GDI Pro Lite. It's the exact same gun as the rest of them. It's just got a new design on it. But I've had a few people say, hey man, you want to make a video on it? And I said, well look, I've already got Pro Lite reviews and demos, and they just said, look, we just want to see the new one. So we'll get into the rest of the box there. You can see you've got your identifier rings there, so you can change them out if you've got a couple of the exact same model. If you decided you wanted to get 3 of these, you wanted to have one for base, one for clear, and the other one for your wet on wet primes or something like that, you could get the different color rings down the bottom on the base of the gun. Then you've got your paint pot, you put that on the top, and just about ready to spray, whack an air fitting on, and off you go. So this one came with a 1.3 and 1.2 mil. So nowadays when you get a Pro Lite, you've got the choice of 1.2 and 1.3 or 1.3 and 1.4, so you actually get 2 fluid tips with any Pro Lite purchase these days, which is pretty handy. They never used to do that, but I think that the Techno Pro Lights have been sold with multiple fluid tips in the US there for quite some time, but it seems like we're just catching up over here in the rest of the world. So yeah, it's good to get a couple of fluid tips. Personally, I just leave my 1.3 on there most of the time. I wouldn't even bother about putting that 1.2 or 1.4 on most of the time for my everyday refinishing needs. I find if I do really want to get that fine orange peel, I can just either wind the fluid in, or I can just go a bit easier or go a little bit quicker on it, and I can get those Mazda orange peels fairly easy. As far as the air cap goes, I've got the TE20 on this one. That's my used and recommended air cap for most purposes. I've actually got the T110 as well. I've had the HV30 before, not the biggest fan of it. They get the thick orange peel. I can use them, but I'm not really the biggest fan of the HVLP guns. One place that I worked years ago, it was for the Sheens group in Melbourne. They're quite a decent sized panel shop chain. They use the Glazeret, and they were really pushing that you must use the HVLP air caps. So I can make them work. First time I used them, I was getting runs and I was getting bad orange peel. Had to get the tech reps out. They showed me how to set it up properly, and I was able to make it work for me and get some really nice finishes. But unless I'm actually forced to by the boss these days, I wouldn't actually willingly or want to go and use the HVLP air cap. So TE20 is my preferred air cap. I do have other videos that go a little bit more into detail on the air caps. So I've got the TE20 versus the T110 review and demo, and I've got other ones that I've made as well. So if you're interested, you can go check them out. The Pro Lights have had the top spot in my arsenal for quite some time. The Pro Lite made it into #1 in my top 10 spray guns review, and it remains there. I've recently done a bit of a review and demo on the SATAjet 5000B RP 1.2 mil. So I used that SATA all week last week. This is the first job that I actually used the Pro Lite with after a week off, and I'll tell you what, it's definitely up there in top position for a reason. It deserves to be there. I really feel like it just does what I want it to do. It gets the right amount of paint in the right spots. So I'm not having to move so fast because the fluid tip is too big. I'm not really struggling to set the thing up. I'm not playing around with gauges as I'm spraying, like the fan adjustment knob. If you set that at anything less than full, I find myself playing around with it. That's on the SATAjet. The fan adjustment on this is right on the back of the gun. It's that top knob that you see out the top there. The one below that is your fluid, and down the very base of the gun, that's where the pressure adjustment is. And I've noticed that it's actually easier to set my pressure on this gun as well. The SATAjet, I even showed my apprentice. He's like, yeah, I agree with you. I said, get 2 bar, you know, and on this gun, just had it plugged in out there where the spray out booth is. So get 2 bar on that, and then I gave him the aviator. I said get 2 bar on that, and he's pissing around going from 1.4 to 2.2 to 1.8, and it's just a little bit stiffer, and it's got a shorter thread on it, so it just seems a little bit harder to actually get that pressure that you want on that compared to this gun. And look, while it's not a massive deal, it's just those little things that make spraying that little bit nicer, and just things that you're used to, I guess. If I was always a solder sprayer and that's all I've ever known, I started with them and I've, you know, done all my time with them, I would probably be like, no, those bloody Pro lights, I don't even like the place where the fan adjustment is, you know. It'd just be what I'm used to. But yeah, for me, I think that this is a superior gun, price aside. You know, I've had a few people say that compared to the starter jet. You know, if price wasn't an issue, you know, which to me it is an issue, and these are cheaper. I don't know anyone in this trade who's totally rolling in money that price isn't an issue, but even if it wasn't an issue, I would still prefer to be using the Pro lights. And when you own one of each, I guess money isn't an issue because you own them. So if I was using the starter jet on a daily basis, well then I would think it's the best gun. But I don't think I'm going to be going back to the starter for clear coat. I ended up actually demoting it to a base coat gun after 1 week. So sorry starter, and sorry to the starter fans, and I hope that I haven't offended any of you diehard starter jet lovers, but these are all just based on my own opinions. Unfortunately, it's brought the worst out in some among the YouTube community and the online spray painting community. I'm not naming names, but there's been some pretty nasty things said about me, and just stuff that isn't really necessary. People trying to discredit me and my work for something that is, at the end of the day, just my opinion. Starters aren't, never have been, and I can't say that they ever will be my preferred gun. You know what, I was thinking about it just before. I'm just a spray painter that decided to take a GoPro to work, film myself spray painting, make a few tutorial videos. Okay, I've got big, you know, there's a lot of people that want to follow me, but they do that because they probably see something they can gain out of it. They're probably getting, and you guys are probably getting something out of my videos. People do respect my opinion and take my word, but at the end of the day, I'm getting the feedback from people saying, your tips do work, you know, your gun recommendations are sound, you know, and I'm not going to stop my own opinion and censor my videos just because a few people may not like what I'm saying in them. Don't forget, I've got a lot more to lose than what I do to gain out of being negative on any product. That is anything across the board, even if it be a clear coat that I don't like, a spray gun, a roll of masking tape. There's more shit that's going to come back on me by saying negative stuff. I do it to be honest and true to myself and the videos, not because I've got anything to gain by saying negative stuff about anyone's product.
You just do what I fucking want you to do. Not like the bloody starter jet. You get the right amount and the right spot. Not too much, not too little.
So that was obviously my reaction straight after using the Pro Lite for the first time in a week, after being on the starter for a week. And I was definitely impressed with what I had in my hands. It was doing what I've always done, just get those nice finishes. The gun can be either as efficient or inefficient as the user. At the end of the day, it's only as good as the person behind it pulling that trigger. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. Be sure to leave a comment down below if you've enjoyed it. Give it a big thumbs up. Be sure to check out my website, thegunman.net.au, and all my social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All the links for that are in the description down below. Now you've seen this video, get out there and paint some shit. Thanks for watching, and this has been another Gunman production. Goodbye.